Welcome, everyone. Call the Board of Supervisors into session on this October 22nd, Monday. Thank you all for attending. First on our agenda is a proclamation that I'll read. So our proclamation is for Veterans Day 2018. Whereas every year Veterans Day is a time to reflect on the service and sacrifice of all generations of veterans. These men and women have given selflessly of themselves to defend our freedoms, and we are constantly humbled by their strength and courage. Whereas the history of Veterans Days goes back to the armistice, known as the Treaty of Versailles, and ended hostilities in World War I, and with fighting to see months earlier with a temporary secession between the Allies and Germany that went into effect on the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. And whereas in 1938, the 11th of November was dedicated as Armistice Day in honor of the veterans of that conflict, and in 1954 was expanded to honor all American veterans of all wars. And whereas on Veterans Day, we pay tribute to our veterans, to the fallen, and to their families, to honor their contributions to our nation, as we keep the promises made to all who have answered the country's call. As we fulfilled our obligations to the nation, we keep faith with the patriots who have risked their lives to preserve our union, and with the ideas of service and sacrifice upon which our republic was founded. And whereas the Dubuque American Legion Post No. 6 proudly honors all tri-state veterans, veterans organizations, and military units. Now, therefore, the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors, on behalf of the staff and the citizens of the County of Dubuque, Iowa, do hereby ask all citizens to make Veterans Day 2018 an honor for all those who have served our nation, regardless of which war or conflict, including our newest generation of veterans who have and are serving in the post-9/11 era. Let us say thank you for the sacrifices and all they have given while serving our country as we proclaim the 11th of November 2018 as Veterans Day.
Motion to approve the proclamation.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the proclamation, and in honor of Veterans Day, the only veteran we have on the Board of Supervisors is Supervisor Klein, so he will provide the proclamation and get a photo opportunity with the veterans present. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You want me to take a picture since I got it?
Sure.
Let's see where you end up. I got the camera. I'll follow you.
Do we
right
want
there, or?
the flags up here?
Oh,
Do
we
you
got
want?
the flags right.
Let me move the chair. You guys come on up here. Daryl, you come back up here. Just come right up here.
This is our first day of the flag. Perfect time. And the new flags.
We got
too, right?
flags.
We got new flags.
I'm gonna get out of the way, Daryl.
I'll take this one.
Thanks for your service, sir. Thank you for yours.
We'll get a couple. Okay.
Thank you all. Okay, now I gotta get him back his water here. That was his, right? Not yours?
Yes.
Okay. Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you. Not a bad reader. Occasionally can take a good picture as well. Don't know how good I would be out jumping out of airplanes though.
It's real easy once you get so far.
It's all downhill, huh? Okay, next on our agenda item is approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 8th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Third item is consent items, our quarterly report from the sheriff's office. Looks like his quarterly fees were $57,913.92.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. No public hearings? No zoning? All righty. Procurement procedures. 5A, proof of publication that we have. It looks like for the trucks that went out to bid in the local newspapers.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the proof of publication and receive and file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, receipt of quotes for two 2018-19 model year extended cab, 4x4, 6.5 feet box, 6,900-pound pickup trucks. You know how many bids we have there, Mary? We have 4 bids.
You tell us who they're from?
Yeah, Russell, just read off the vendor and then the quote.
This quote is from Rundy Chevrolet.
I'll ask you to bring that mic a little closer so everyone can hear you.
Rundy Chevrolet.
Okay?
This is quote. It's a Chevy 1500 double cab. You guys want the warranty to it as well? Just the total.
Yeah, total will be fine.
Total for both units are $57,139.20.
And that's for both units?
Yes.
Thank you.
And again, it's $57,139.20. This one's from Finn and Ford. This quote's from Finn and Ford. For both trucks, total cost of $62,477.36. Again, it's $62,477.36. This quote's from Turpin Dodge. 2 trucks, quote is $56,180. $56,180. The last one from Victory Ford. Both trucks are $58,275.36. $58,275.36.
Make a motion to receive and file and refer to Secondary Road Department for recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the receipt of quotes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next procurement procedure item is a request for bids for the IT department, request for bids for the purchase of security camera equipment and related hardware. And those bids are due Thursday, November 8th at 3 o'clock. And that's in the auditor's office. And they will be opened on Tuesday, November 13th at the Board of Supervisors meeting at 9 a.m. in this room. So, but the bids are due on Thursday, November 8th at 3 o'clock for IT items for security camera equipment and related hardware.
Motion to, make a motion to approve the requests for bids.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the request for bids. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item is receipt for quotes for the second floor courtroom, Phase 1. And does one of you two give an overview for this? Since we have a few people here, if you want to head to the podium, would you like to give an overview of the project?
This in here?
It's a receipt of quotes. It should be.
No, I don't see it in the.
Well, no, she's opening them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the bids. The bids, Chris.
I got it.
Well, you can come up here too. I prefer the podium. Yeah, just give the podium since we have some people here. Just a little bit about the project, if we could, before we open it. Just don't predict how much it's going to cost unless you think you're
Okay.
really good at that.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christy Monk with FEH Design, and we requested quotes for remodeling a second floor courtroom so that the juvenile courts, which is currently at the law enforcement center across the street, could then be relocated here. So this is a fairly minor renovation of the existing courtroom space to remove the existing jury box and redo some finishes to make it fit the people fit people in the arrangement as requested by juvenile courts.
Thank you. Probably the biggest benefit is that this will allow for our full security to be used in juvenile court proceedings. And so right now, kind of as odd as it is, we have a larger security presence, so to speak, and as far as security equipment at the courthouse. And so all people that attend juvenile court hearings would go through those metal detectors. And so they'd have the same type of security that our other courtrooms do.
Okay, and my understanding is that we received one quote, is that accurate?
Just one,
So
okay.
we did, we received one quote.
All right, thank you.
And this has also been, if I may,
Go ahead.
a major issue and concern of the courthouse security team in bringing the juvenile court back behind the metal detectors.
Okay, so we requested a bid bond for this project, and it appears that we do have a bid bond. Let's put this for,
5% of the amount.
yep, 5% of the amount, okay.
The quote is from Clower Construction. Base quote is for $9,953. Again, $9,953. And
That's it?
that's it.
9,953?
Yes, sir.
All right.
9,900. And that is at or below the, our estimate would
Good.
probably be the way to put it. I don't know if, so you would be looking for a recommendation then at the next meeting?
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
I'll make a motion here to receive and file the bid and refer to maintenance and FEH for a recommendation.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks, Christie.
Thanks, Chris and Christie. Okay, next item we have is approval of the plats. We have, looks like, is it 4 or another page? 4, 5, 6 plats to approve. And the first on our list is a final plat of the Eagles Nest Subdivision Plat 1, Section 8, Mosalem Township. Does anybody ever pronounce that mausoleum?
Most people say
Mosalem?
Salem is where most of it.
I want to say mausoleum, but Mosalem Township. Tammy, please lead us through this.
The property is owned by Patrick and Darlene O'Rourke Trust and is located 1.82 miles southeast of the city of Dubuque along Jericho Trail with a total of 3.69 acres surveyed. This property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential. A rezoning of the property to R2 Single Family Residential was approved on zoning case number 25 of 94. The purpose of this plat is to replat 3 existing residential lots into 2 residential lots. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 1.31 acres surveyed with a home, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 2.38 acres surveyed, and it will be sold for a new home site. Lot 1 and Lot 2 will use an existing 66-foot wide access off of the private road Jericho Trail, and there were no additions or corrections required for this plat. There were no liens or mortgages on the property, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as the plats officer and has all the required signatures, and I respectfully recommend approval. So as you can see, this is what they're creating from here. They're taking this one out. So they've just changed it over because he actually had a situation where his driveway, and I'll show you that here. They're moving it because of his driveway here. So he wants to sell this, and it's not sitting where he needs it to, and I believe it also has something to do with his septic. And so he needs to make sure that he's got the extra land on his lot so he can sell the second lot.
Okay, and both those lots are zoned R2, I see, on
Yeah,
the
they are.
plat.
And that was done in 94.
94. I'm sure you'll have no problem selling the lot.
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat as described in the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the plat. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Plat is approved. The next plat is a resolution of the final plat of the Kaufman Farm subdivision, Section 14, Jefferson Township.
Okay, the property is owned by Dennis and Jessica Kaufman and is located 1 mile west of the city of Sherrill along South Mound Road with a total of 20.17 acres surveyed. The property is zoned A1 agricultural and A2 agricultural residential and C1 conservancy. The purpose of the plat is to create a new lot to allow for the new home to be built. A rezoning to the property of A2 agricultural residential was approved on zoning case number 923 of 17. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 18.67 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 1.50 acres surveyed, and it will be used for the new home site. Lot 1 will use an existing residential access off of South Mound Road, and Lot 2 will have access across Lot 1 through a 30-foot wide access and utility easement to South Mound Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat. The bank consent is signed and attached. Some of the signatures are over 60 days old, and they include the surveyor, April 19th of 2018, attorney, July 24th of 2018, City of Sherrill, May 5th of 2018, county assessors, July 13th of 2018, county treasurer, July 13th of 2018, county planning and zoning was May 15th of 2018. This plat has been reviewed by myself as plats officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. So what they're doing is taking this piece here out. There's a home on there now. That old home will be removed, and the reason it had to be rezoned and has to be plat is for financing purposes through the bank.
And did we approve the A2 on this
Yes, you
recently?
did.
Okay.
Yes. The A2 was approved back in September of 17.
17, about a year ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it just took them some time to figure out, getting their things done personally, so. And the bank is requiring them to do that, and then they'll remove the old home that's there.
Any other questions for Tammy? Nope. Any other questions for Tammy? Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Plat is approved. The next resolution is the final plat for Lot 1-1 and 2-1 of Sanctuary Number 2, Section 2, Center Township.
Okay. The property is owned by Joe Schmidt and Steve Schmidt Partnership and is located 1.62 miles northeast of the city of Durango along Cedar Ridge Road with a total of 37.084 acres surveyed. The property is owned R1 Rural Residential. The purpose of this plat is to divide off 1.8 acres that will include the new home for Steve Schmidt so that it can be transferred into Steve's name for financing purposes. The remainder of the property will stay in the partnership. Survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 of 1 has a total of 35.254 acres, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 of 1 has a total of 1.830 acres surveyed, and it will be the site for the new home for Steve Schmidt. Lot 1 will have access across Lot 2 of Cedar Ridge Road, and Lot 2 will use an existing residential access off of Cedar Ridge Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat. The bank consent is signed and attached. All signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as plats officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. So as you can see, what they're doing is taking this piece here out, and then it's just so that it's, again, for financing purposes. It's zoned residential, and it meets all of our standards for access. There is an existing home here that will be removed as well.
Will both the plats be zoned R2?
It's zoned R1. Yeah, it'll all stay R1.
R1 or R2?
R1. That was the
R1,
road.
thanks to the north. All right, my bad. I'm looking on the south side or the opposite end. Any other questions?
I'll
for
make a
Tammy?
motion to approve
All
the
right.
resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution and plat is approved. The next resolution is the final plat of Seven Springs, Section 18, Washington Township.
Okay. The property is owned by James and Tammy Bruns and is located 2.99 miles northeast of the city of Bernard along Larkin Road with a total of 203.366 acres surveyed. The property is zoned A1 agricultural. The purpose of this plat is to divide up the property. The survey creates 3 lots. Lot 1 has a total of 133.880 acres surveyed, and it will be sold to Travis Cook, and it will continue in agricultural use. Lot 2 is a total of 53.186 acres surveyed with a home and a farm buildings, and it will be owned by Tammy Bruns and will continue in agricultural use. Lot 3 is a total of 16.300 acres surveyed, and it will be sold to Travis Cook and will continue into agricultural use. Lot 1 will use an existing field entrance off of Fisher Road. Lot 2 will use an existing residential access off of Larkin Road. Lot 3 will use an existing field entrance off of Larkin Road. There are no additions or corrections required for this plat. The bank consent is signed and attached, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as plats officer, and as all required signatures, I respectfully recommend approval. So I'll show you the area here a little bit. So what's happening is there's a divorce situation going on, so the property is being divided. And so Tammy is keeping the acreage herself, and the other property is being divided through the neighbors, who are all currently agriculturally, have lots of acreage, so it meets the standards because they're connected. The one lot that's the smaller lot is going to be owned by the neighboring landowners.
And this will all stay in ag.
Yeah, it's all gonna continue in agricultural use.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, resolution is approved, along with the plat. Okay, next resolution is the final plat of the Tigas 5th Edition, Section 22, Table Mound Township.
Okay, the property is owned by Lila M. Tigas Declaration of Trust and is located 0.74 miles west of the city of Dubuque and situated between Highway 151 South and Military Road with a total of 50.491 acres surveyed. The property is zoned R1 Rural Residential. The purpose of the plat is to reconfigure 2 lots into 2 lots so that Lot 1 can be sold to a family member and the estate can retain access for Lot number 2. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 1.421 acres surveyed with a home, and it will be sold. Lot 2 is a total of 49.070 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 1 will use an existing residential access off of Military Road, and Lot 2 will use an existing field entrance off of Military Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat. There are no liens or mortgages on this property. All signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as plats officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. This is all owned by one family, and it's even down in here is the same family member. And what they're doing for estate purposes, they're splitting off this lot and making sure that this all becomes lot. This will all be one lot. It's to keep access to that. It's kind of a family recreation area. And it's all zoned R1, so,
So there's an existing home on the 1.1. or
yeah,
1.4.
on lot 1, 1.421, and it sounds like it's gonna be a family member that will own that as well.
Any more questions for Tammy?
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution is approved. The plat is approved. And our final plat is a resolution for the final plat of the Walser Second Edition, Section 4, Table Mound Township.
Property is owned by William and Margaret Walser and is located 0.65 miles west of the city of Dubuque along Walser Lane with a total of 15.91 acres surveyed. The property is zoned R1 rural residential and A1 agricultural. A rezoning of the property to R1 rural residential was approved on zoning case number 25 of 18. The purpose of the plat is to separate the house from the existing farm buildings to be allowed to sell it to the daughter in the future for estate purposes. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 2.67 acres surveyed with a home, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 13.24 acres surveyed with the farm buildings, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 1 will use an existing residential access off of Walser Lane. Lot 2 will have a 20-foot wide access easement across Lot 1. There are no additions or corrections required for this plat. There are no liens or mortgages on the property, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as Plats Officer and has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. So as you can see here, this is the area that was rezoned. This had been all A1. We rezoned this piece, so to allow for that separation. And that was done in, February of 18. So that was approved. And now what they're doing is just separating, creating that lot, and then this is the secondary lot. And the Walsers also own adjacent property down below. So if you'll look here, they also own this as well.
Questions for Tammy?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The resolution is approved and the plats are approved. Thank you very much, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Greatly
Thanks.
appreciate it. Next on our agenda item is the resolution of appointments of deputies, assistants, and clerks. Looks like we have 5 positions, 4 from Sunnycrest and 1 in the county attorney's office. Everything in order?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, resolution is approved. The next resolution is approving change order number 5 for the courthouse roof statuary project. And looks like we've got a couple change orders. Number 5 decreases the project amount by $17,516.
That's different.
That's a good thing. It's going down on a $1.4 million project, I may add.
Chris here?
Is he still here? I don't know if you want to ask. Must have been something they didn't do or not to exceed. Bid? That's my only guess.
Kind of a no-brainer, but
Bill, can you see if Chris is out there?
That'd be good if you could see him.
I don't think we're gonna not approve it.
The contract's, yeah, the contract's in here, so it's must be referencing
Oh.
part of the contract.
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Change order's been accepted. The next item is a resolution approving the quarterly report of the fiscal 19 DARE grant. And that grant is for $2,576.28. Oh, my bad. I think I read the wrong one. Nope, that is the DARE grant.
$2,576.28.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Resolution is approved. The next is a resolution approving the annual urban renewal report for fiscal year 18. 7D. And so, is this our urban renewal program? Our urban renewal report? Okay.
What's the, or 2 TIFs?
We have
basically.
two areas, yeah. So Nemasco and then Western Dubuque Biodiesel is our 2 areas.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The next is a resolution to approve the federal aid swap funding for the North Bridge replacement on Old Worthington Road. 17E. Any comments you'd have related to this, Russell? All good? Okay.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the swap funds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Resolution is approved. The next resolution is approve the federal aid swap funding for the South Bridge replacement on Old Worthington Road. Previous one was the north. This is the south.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next resolution, to approve the plans and specs for the bridge replacement on Christoph Road. 7G, hold on, 7G, D, F, G.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the plans and specs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Resolutions are approved. Resolution to approve the plans and specs for the North Bridge replacement project on Old Worthington Road.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Plans are approved. We have a resolution to approve the plans and specifications for the South Bridge replacement project on Old Worthington Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Resolution is approved. The next resolution is to approve the memorandum of understanding.
Quick question.
Yes.
When were these gonna go out for bid? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I can get back to you on that.
No, that's fine. I was just, if you knew I was.
For the the funding agreement for Christoph was delivered today, so that'll be on next meeting. Just a heads up.
The plans weren't available, is that what you're saying?
The plans are, but the funding agreement has just been,
Okay,
we received it today, so it'll be for next week's,
Okay.
or next meeting.
sounds good. Thank you. Okay, 7J is a resolution to approve the memorandum of understanding from the Urban County Coalition. I think we have a representative here as well, and so Gary, you're here. Larry, you're here, excuse me.
Gary's the other guy.
Larry's here, Larry Murphy. Would you like to take the podium and just mention a few words about our partnership and what the Urban County Coalition does and benefits for Dubuque County? Hate to put you on the spot like that, but.
Yeah, I'm Larry Murphy. I'm lobbyist for the Urban County Coalition, which includes Dubuque, Blackhawk, Scott, Lynn County, and Johnson County. The Urban County Coalition was organized about 7 or 8 years ago now. And the intent was that because the urban counties have much different needs than some of the 99 counties as a group, that there would be some specific issues that there would be an interest in terms of pursuing. And actually, it was pretty timely. Dubuque County joined, I think the first year, the Dubuque County was thinking about it, so we had them involved. And then the Urban County does basically three things. One is prepare legislative agendas for the upcoming session. We work with ISAC on common issues that are common there. We work with the regional mental health, the mental health regions and other groups that the counties utilize for services. Another piece we do is actually have the administrative individuals for the counties periodically compare notes in terms of either cost-saving strategies they have or have utilized in the past, which actually was beneficial to Dubuque County about 5 years ago. So, and then the third part is then we meet about 3 to 4 times a year and then have weekly conference calls to talk through the session, update, and then we have the board members come down and meet with legislators, legislative leaders, present to legislative committees. So been very effective. And I think particularly in the last 6 years where you've had a complete revamp of the whole mental health system, going from 99 access points with each county to regional systems, We were on the front end of that redesign, and when I say we, the Urban County Coalition, was on the front end advocating that that would be a way to bring access for a variety of mental health services that would be helpful to not only the urban counties, but the people in each of the regions they're in. And then since then, with the, that was Senate File 504, which was passed a couple years ago, and then the House File 2456, which was passed this year, has set in place the way to actually deliver mental health services. The key point, which is not done yet, is the actual funding. And so that's going to be a critical discussion this upcoming year. So the mental health has certainly been a major piece, but we also look at other areas. Sometimes it's playing defense, as the three supervisors know. A number of years ago, I think about 2014 or 15, the legislature, in its brilliance, decided to reduce the commercial and by 10% the commercial industrial property tax valuations. That did not impact the state; it impacted the local revenues. The state started a process of what they call property tax backfill, which would reimburse local governments for that loss, because that was a loss to cities, counties, and schools. But after about 2 years of that, because the cost that's pretty substantial, it's about $150 million a year in their budget, the legislature's been looking for ways to kind of back out of that commitment. And this last session, we were successful at keeping that intact, but it was a pretty serious challenge in that. And then we also have specific issues. In fact, one of the wins for you all, when we were talking earlier in your board meeting about some of the costs of publication, we were able to get legislation and take on the Newspaper Association, which has a powerful lobby. Not so much they have a lot of money, but legislators use those local newspapers to publish their newsletters, and so they hate to irritate those folks and give that to them for free. So anyway, we were able to work out an agreement with them where on resolutions, you could have summaries published, and then the full resolution would be put on the county website. So that was a win. It took a number of years to work that through. And then a couple other issues. Again, the legislature, in its wisdom, decided that urban counties should have supervisor districts as opposed to letting local counties decide how they elect their supervisors. And while it does not impact Dubuque County right now, of the 10 urban counties in Iowa, 2 are directly affected right now, Polk and Lynn. The other ones, there's a population threshold you have to reach. The other ones probably won't hit those for a number of years, and we hope to modify that legislation. And probably the other major piece, and again, as you guys were getting ready to offer bids, and you're talking about strategies in terms of how you move forward in terms of construction. This last session, again, the supervisors know this already, but House File 2253 basically took away a tool that county government has had for a long, long time in terms of what's called lease purchase. Basically, you have 2 options when you bid public projects. One is what we call competitive or low bid. And so you hire an engineer, they put together the project, and then they are put out for bid, and by law, the lowest bid has to be awarded. The other option is to basically put together the project, work with engineering and design firms, and determine a price, and then, or not a price, but a project, put that out, and then have competitive proposals. But the proposals will vary in terms of quality of the materials, how they go about it, that type of thing, and then the board negotiates with that. Lynn County, this last session, actually approved what probably was the last lease purchase project on their public health building. And so basically the way the language has been changed has made it pretty ineffective for counties to utilize lease purchase again. So that's definitely a loss. And I think in terms of the local control issue here, certainly adversely affected you all. So hopefully a quick summary for you.
Very good. Any questions for Larry at all?
Larry, just noticed in the, some of the documents here, some of the, I think I know the answer. I think it's probably to do with quorum, but some of the counties have 2 representatives.
Correct.
And some have 1. Is it related to whether they have 5 or 3 on their board?
Correct, and actually, there is a change on because of the voters deciding to reduce the Lynn County Board from 5 to 3, and that election has taken place here in a couple of weeks. We adjusted the language because going forward, Lynn County then will have just 1 representative. So basically, because we have some, pretty public discussion about strategy and that sort of thing, that's why we want to have a representative from each county, but not trigger the open meetings, because at that point it's really more drafting of ideas as opposed to public decisions. So Lynn County will go from 2 members to 1, and then obviously Dubuque County has one representative, but the counties vote, and it's a good question in terms of the audience, the way the counties vote on priorities, it has to be unanimous. And then secondly, if there's 2 supervisors on, they still get 1 vote, so it's not stacked one way or the other in terms of membership. But good question.
Thank you.
Last thing I'd say, well done on the commercial tax rollback. That's a big save. That was estimated close to $4 million when you include the school district, the city, and the county. And so many had prepared us for that loss, and we were able to stave off that loss for at least another year.
Right.
So thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
But I think it's been a great partnership. We agonized over this for a couple of years before we finally decided to take the plunge into the lobbying world. But I think it's been taxpayer dollars well spent. Just getting the road use tax change done, that alone was huge and enables our guys to do the great job they're doing now, because it pulls in another $1 million a year, $1.2 million a year, going directly into road projects. So it's Dubuque County. So just one good note. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'll look
Larry.
for action on that.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution is approved. You wanted to sign that contract? Because you're not taking official position on ATV. Allow you to leave. Although that may be on our list to get clarification from the state DOT, the state at one point, but. Yeah, unfortunately, we've had a few, yes. Yeah, it's, unfortunately, yes. Okay, next on our item is communication. Proof of publication for the zoning cases. 8A, is any proof zoning cases? No. B is the public hearing notice for the city of Worthington, the amendment of the Worthington Urban Renewal Area.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second to receive and file the communication. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The next is the appointments and the approval appointments of the Dubuque County ATV UTV Rule Committee and the Small Committee Representative. I see Dawn just stepped out, but we had, was it one individual?
Right, aren't these aren't for the small city representative though, are they?
I thought one of
They
them,
are?
yeah. I knew the one was for sure. So Dawn, do you want to prep us, do you know, as far as the appointments for the small city representatives, is that what we're looking at as far as some of the
Yes, you had,
paperwork in there?
yep, you had 2 applications.
two?
We had one from Asbury City Council and one
One from
from
Cascade.
Cascade City Council.
Asbury and Cascade, okay?
Just
And-
to note, we do have a representative of the Cascade City Council as a voting member. Steve Nepper is
Yeah.
a member of that as well, just to note, he's
Okay,
not
that's interesting.
included in this.
I don't know, go ahead.
Did we ask to have these in by this meeting? I don't remember. Okay, so
Yep.
this is.
Yeah, I think you sent it out to all the councilmen and mayor, council
Yep,
people
all
and
of the
mayor?
city clerks and mayor, all the
clerks as
emails I
well.
could find email addresses.
So
for.
probably a good 50 or so?
It
Maybe
was a
more than
lot.
that? 18, I don't know how large their boards are, their city councils are. Okay, and
Are
so,
we looking for one?
Correct.
That's what we had decided?
yeah, and so it's probably hard to take off your hat if you are on the Cascade City Council. you'll be there. You won't necessarily always be representing Cascade officially, but you would be that person. So I don't know either of the two candidates. I'm very pleased that they applied. My thought would be to apply the individual from Asbury, and that would be John Ritchie. But I'm just looking for discussion if you of the other supervisors have a personal preference or anybody
I don't know either
Yes,
one
I
of them.
like the idea that he says he's undecided.
okay. Yep,
Um,
yep. It's,
I don't think that's qualifying or disqualifying, but.
no, the Cascade representative did state that it's working well in Cascade and
So he has experience of going through this process, so that, you know, I think there's arguments for,
Supervisor Baker, do you have any? opinion?
would it make sense to appoint both of them?
Oh, there you go. I mean, this is an ad hoc committee, so I don't
I think
think
that
we're
would be my
hard pressed.
preference.
And has the deadline closed?
Yes, it was closed last Thursday, so we can make this meeting.
Yeah, and I think we,
Both interested?
yeah,
They're
we have
both
nine
city
citizens
officials.
on the board right now.
This
Correct?
keeps it odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be
Are these,
11.
these would be non-voting?
These would be
That's
ex
up to
officio,
you.
well, I can't remember if we listed them as ex officios non-voting, or that was more of our county staff. We'd have to go back to our last meeting notes. Either way, it's important that they participate.
It was
Yeah.
non-voting.
I guess,
All right.
I'll make a motion to appoint both Andrew Kelchin and John Ritchie to the committee.
And should we, is there clarification needed whether or not these are voting members or not?
I think we do need, because otherwise you're,
I,
well, it'd be 11. They were gonna be voting
yeah, I feel
members.
everyone, you know, my thought would be, I would like voting members.
Maybe Dave just put it in the motion, just to make sure we're clear on the fact that
Okay.
these are voting members. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I wanted to, they're gonna be making recommendations, so are they,
Did you say?
is the proper term voting?
That's right.
Because I don't know that they're gonna be,
participate.
they're not gonna be taking votes, right?
Well, but we will have people on this board
Might
that are
lead.
gonna be county employees that aren't gonna be
Okay, so they'll be advisory?
considered vote, I guess, I don't know a better term than voting, I guess.
Okay,
I think there's, the county officials are there, you know, clearly as facilitators, note takers, contributors, whereas the citizenry, we anticipated, would have an opinion, their personal experiences as well. And so a little bit different, but the voting may or may not come into it.
Let's
but I
just
think
say they're
it's-
the same as the other 9 that are already there.
I will term it this way, I'm nominating them as full members of the board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to nominate both candidates to the ATV UT board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. It's good to get public participation. I think we are next. Are we on to personnel requisitions? And it looks like we have a permanent part-time maintenance worker, painter at Sunnycrest Manor, 1 position. And everything in good for this one, Dawn?
This is just a replacement
retired?
of a retiring employee.
Okay.
Correct.
Do them separately or together?
Separately.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The next personnel requisition is a permanent full-time deputy sheriff, jail at the sheriff's office, 1 position.
This would add an FTE to the employee count of the sheriff's department. As he had stated on here, though, that extra position would be eliminated through attrition. This is to provide staff. We have an employee who's on a long-term leave at this time, and so this would be to get him some staff in his detective area and his CID area. But that's, the count would go back to what is currently budgeted through attrition.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel requisition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Personnel requisition is approved. Any table depending items? All righty. Public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters which they are concerned to that person and which are not on the agenda items. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address, make your comments. However, no formal action on your comments may be taken at this time because of the notice requirements.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Good work, everybody.